Another episode. We got Dylan. Today, name of the game is tripod. Yeah, well, the camera doesn't see where the point of contact is. So it's like about 2 or 3 frames, you might be off. You know what I'm saying? All right, welcome back. Today we got tripods. Let's get to it. In the studio, we basically have 2 that we use for the most part. The Manfrottos, which are a little bit smaller, handle less weight. And then we have 2 of the Benro S8. All right, so we're gonna start with the Manfrotto. Unzip the tripod itself. The way that we store them, the way that they should be stored, we go ahead and leave the tripod head on there. And with the tripod head on this one, I'll show you how to take it off real quick. Tripod head is actually what goes on the camera itself. I like to leave it on the tripod so that way if we ever transport them to a shoot or do anything off campus or another location. All right, so let's talk about how to actually take it off. So with the Manfrotto, we open it up. The first thing we want to do is loosen up the head, make sure that there's no tension. Loosen the arm up, righty tighty, lefty loosey. Should be a t-shirt saying by this point. Screw it on just like that. A little bit loose because we got a little bit of free play on the arm. I'm gonna go and tighten it up a little bit more. We should be solid. So for the Manfrotto, the way we release it is we loosen up the screw on the right hand side. It is a pressure lock. We push down on it and it releases the tripod head. And then we then apply this to the camera and put the camera back on. Now the way we put it back on, it does have a really unique design. Basically, you're gonna introduce it into the left hand side, and once it's there, all you do is brush the lock, it slides in. Now once it's in there is a safety mechanism. It won't let it slide back out or pressure lock out. The only thing you can do at that point is either release it again or lock it in place. And once you lock it in place, it's there. Pretty solid. So one more time, right side, left loosey, push down and release it. I'm gonna have Dylan demonstrate that for us. There you go, Dylan, if you don't mind. So Dylan's gonna right side, left loosey, he's gonna loosen it up. And then it releases. Really smart lock. Yeah, definitely, go ahead. So he's gonna loosen it up, gonna push down on the lock, and it releases the actual tripod. With these tripods, they're meant for a little bit smaller cameras, not anything too big or massive, pretty much a small handheld DSLRs, DSLM. With that being said, you don't need to over tighten it or over squeeze it. If it's done, it's done. There's no point to apply more pressure, and at one point maybe even break it. If you wanna tighten up the camera, you do it on 2 different axes. In order for the tilt is right here. For your pan lock, it'll be down here. That's pretty solid. To store away, it's pretty easy. I like to leave these not all the way loose. The actual screw will come off. I do like to not leave it tightened. I like to loosen it up ever so slightly. We're gonna loosen up the actual hand as well, so we can store it, loosen the tripod hand. And then the easiest way to kind of store it back up is to simply push up and it comes up. At that point, you can just collapse it and store it away. Let's also go over extending the legs, because obviously this may not be long enough for some shoots. In order to extend it, it's a pretty easy release. All you do is flip and the hand comes out. So in order to release it, all we do is flip out the lock and the leg extends out. There's 2 different versions, so you can extend it as far as you'd like for your shoot. I mean, it just depends on whatever your subject matter is. Then I'm gonna have Dylan actually store it away. Here you go, Dylan. So we're gonna have Dylan store it away for us, and while he's doing that, in order to store it, it's pretty simple. I like to do the legs first. And then follow up with the head. And there's no reel for the actual head. As long as we're in there, we're fine. And so those are the Manfrottos. Really good, the 502 heads. They last a long time. We've used them many a times. Fantastic company. Can't say anything better about them. All right, next up we have the Benro S8. Velcro off for the handle. Here we have the tripod. Now for this specific model, it does have 2 releases of additional Velcro just to keep it safe and keep it from hitting anything, scratching up against anything. And so all we do is just release down, Dylan. And we have access to, we're gonna take it out. It's a little bit heavier tripod, just handle with care. So we're gonna open it up, turn it another way, and now we'll talk about the Benro. Now we're gonna talk about the Benro. Really good company, recently kind of a new company, Benro. They've been out for a couple years now. They don't have the same lineage as Manfrotto, but still very good quality product. Couple things with this tripod, it holds a lot more weight. For any potential shoots, it'll make it a little bit easier. Those are with the modifications that I've done to the actual tripod itself. First and foremost, in order to release and raise the tripod, they have 3 release locks. Once you've released the lock, again, it's right side, left loosey. That really should be a slogan. All you do is raise it up and then you tighten it up again. It's pretty fluid. I've had no issues of it being stuck. I've had no bending of the rods. That's with the maximum payload of 22 pounds. I've had no issues with that as well. It can get pretty low as well. Down here, you can release it to extend it and kind of lay it out, flatten it out. And basically the whole leg will come out, which gives you a little bit lower lock on it. Let me do that. and it has 2 release locks. We'll go and lower back, and it has 2 release locks, one up here and one down here, and that's at every leg. In order to position the tripod head wherever you want, the BB10 head, all we do is we loosen up the bottom here. Once that's done, we can go ahead and get the right level on it. Once that's done, we just tighten up again. This is Nada. She's gonna be helping us, I guess. All right. The next thing we're going to do here is show you how to go ahead and tilt, because it does have a very particular system on the amount of pressure and the smoothness of the actual tilt on this tripod. There's numbers right here, Nada, as you can see, 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and this side we got 0, 1, 2, and 3. Basically, it gives you counter tension, and so it'll come back. Yeah, pretty nice. Again, this tripod's meant for 22 pounds, so it helps a lot in trying to get smooth tilt with a higher payload. Next up, this right here is a sending arm. This does not come with the actual tripod. I've attached this so that way I can go and attach a view monitor, another follow focus unit, another component off the actual body, just to give me more flexibility in the actual construction of the tripod itself. I can loosen it up, store it away, and that's that. Now to store it away, it's pretty easy. And just kind of want to show you how to put the pressure lock on. It's a very simple construction. Basically, you just right side left to loose, and that'll apply the pressure to the actual tripod head. The Manfrotto was the only one that's a little bit different. This one kind of plays along the same rule. All right, store it away, it's pretty easy. Make sure we don't have any tension. All right, look at that. Thank you, Nada. Good job. Laura's back.
And I'm the assistant.
Hey, Laura. Okay. And with that being said, that's basically the tripods. Those are the 2 that we use primarily, the Manfrotto and the Benro BV10. That's it.
All right.
That's it. I don't know how the syrup got here.